Let's go to the game of the year. What do you got? I'll go first on this one, Frank, because I'm making you go first every time. For me, when I think game of the year, I think moments, I think conversation, I think the entire world watching, right? That Bills-Chiefs playoff game in Buffalo, where Mahomes gets his first true road playoff game and goes in and wins, man, I just think the power of that moment is what when I think back to this season, year in and year out, the Lions are going to be a great part of it. And there'll be some moments from some games that stand out. You know, some of the decisions on fourth down will stand out, right? But when you think game of the year and what they're going to just keep replaying year in and year out over and over and over again, man, I have got to put, for my money, I got to put Chiefs Bills on that because of what it meant for both organizations, because of the environment, because of the snowballs being thrown, because of the ice, because of the coverage, because of the rivalry. All of those things together make that the sort of game you can't forget. That's my game of the year.
Yeah, and it's great. Obviously, fantastic game, fantastic theater with the two quarterbacks, everything that went along with that. I have this weird fascination with greatest regular season games. I just think that we always forget about them because we always focus on the playoffs. And I thought about some of the great regular season games. We had Dolphins-Chargers week 1, which was awesome and kind of announced that the Dolphins are going to be a really, really fun team to watch. Our producer Stone pointed out the Jets beating the Bills on Monday night in week 1. Great. The Aaron Rodgers injury all the way to the punt return at the end. That was fascinating theater. Some of the Bills regular season games are great. The ridiculous Broncos game, going back to how ridiculous the Broncos season was when the Broncos won there, Eagles winning in overtime, but ultimately did go back to the playoffs and settled on the NFC Championship game because I don't remember. Look, we've talked about the Lions a lot. I'm not from Michigan. I'm from Wisconsin. I don't even root for Michigan most of the time. I definitely was rooting for Washington in the national championship game. Let's put it that way. So I have no ties to the Lions. I have no fondness for the Lions. Growing up, they were division rivals, right? But I was all in on the Lions in the NFC championship game. And I was on a roller coaster of, oh my God, they're going to make the Super Bowl. It's 24-7. This is going to happen. And then just the ridiculous fall on that roller coaster when they blew the lead, the fourth down calls. I just think there was such great theater in that game, the ups and the downs. It didn't have one of these great endings, you know, a last second play to win it or anything like that. But I thought the entirety of those 3 hours just encapsulated what it means to be a fan, what it means to root for a team. I'm not even a Lions fan, and I felt like a fan in that game because I just wanted to see that story happen so bad. I could only imagine what Lions fans went through. That's a game of the year to me because that's the most memorable game. That's the one we'll be talking about years and years from now.
Shout out to, I'm sorry I don't have Twitter open to look at it, X open to look at it, but definitely the tweet of the year for the show was one of our listeners tweeting in and calling those Campbell's Gambles. I'm stealing that.
So
Campbell's Gambles, definitely the way that one's going to be represented.